In this video, we're diving into 13 incredible games like GTA that deliver the same thrill of exploration, crime, and high-speed chases. Whether you want intense shootouts, deep stories, or just the freedom to cause mayhem, these games have it all. From crime-ridden cities to dystopian futures, get ready for epic heists, car chases, and open-world adventures that will keep you hooked for hours. Rockay City is a bustling, 90s-inspired metropolis riddled with crime, gangs, and ambition. The city has been thrown into chaos after the death of its reigning crime lord, leaving a power vacuum at the top. Players step into the shoes of Travis Baker, played by Michael Madsen, a charismatic criminal aiming to become the new king of Rockay City. To accomplish this, Baker must assemble a crew, take over rival territories, and eliminate competing crime bosses, all while dealing with the police and unpredictable city dynamics. The story embraces its campy, star-studded narrative, featuring performances from big-name actors like Chuck Norris, Kim Basinger, Danny Trejo, Vanilla Ice, and more.
Till we all get cuffed.
Bad things happen to good people sometimes.
Or Baker is crowned king.
There's only room for one crime boss around here.
Watch Dogs Legion is the third installment in the Watch Dogs series, developed by Ubisoft Toronto and released on October 29, 2020. London has fallen under the oppressive control of Albion, a private military corporation led by the ruthless Nigel Cass, after a terrorist group known as Zero Day carries out devastating bombings across the city. Blamed for these attacks, the hacker collective DedSec is hunted by Albion and struggles to clear its name while liberating the city from authoritarian control. Players assume the role of DedSec operatives tasked with exposing Zero Day, taking down Nigel Cass, and dismantling other dangerous factions like the Kelly Gang, led by the criminal queenpin Mary Kelly, who profits from human trafficking. As DedSec, you'll also fight against a corrupt AI named Bagley in a shocking twist, all while unraveling the conspiracy behind the rise of Albion's totalitarian rule.
Look here. Look at him. No, not him. Him. Former MI5.
Duty never ends.
Saints Row is a full reboot of the franchise, developed by Volition and published by Deep Silver, released on August 23, 2022. Set in the fictional city of Santo Ileso, a crime-ridden metropolis inspired by the American Southwest, the game follows a new group of saints as they rise from small-time hustlers to the biggest criminal empire in the city. You play as the boss, a fully customizable protagonist who, along with three friends Eli, the strategist, Nina, the getaway driver, and Kevin, the thrill-seeker, decides to start their own gang after getting tired of working under rival factions. To take control of the city, the Saints must battle these factions, expand their operations, and build their criminal empire while dealing with cops, rival bosses, and their own struggles.
I was shot.
Your friends deserve better.
You really think you have what it takes to bring me in?
You deserve better, but only you can choose to adapt to what life throws your way.
Just Cause 4 is an explosive open-world action-adventure game developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix. Released on December 4, 2018. Rico Rodriguez, a former agency operative and freedom fighter, arrives in Solace to uncover the truth about his late father's work on a weather manipulation project called Project Ilapa, spearheaded by a ruthless paramilitary group known as the Black Hand. Led by the cunning and deadly Gabriela Morales, the Black Hand uses Project Ilapa to wield devastating weather-based superweapons, such as tornadoes, lightning storms, and sandstorms, to control the region with an iron fist. Rico teams up with a group of rebels called the Army of Chaos, fighting to liberate Solace and dismantle Project Ilapa while uncovering secrets about his family's past. Red Dead Redemption 2, DR2, is a critically acclaimed open-world action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games. Released on October 26, 2018, the game follows Arthur Morgan, the right-hand man of Dutch van der Linde, the gang's charismatic but increasingly unstable leader. After a botched ferry heist in Blackwater, the gang is forced to flee, setting up camp across various regions while evading lawmen, rival gangs, and bounty hunters. As the federal government tightens its grip on the frontier, Dutch's leadership begins to crumble, leading to internal conflicts, betrayals, and difficult choices for Arthur. As he grapples with his loyalty to Dutch and his personal morality, Arthur must decide whether to stay with the gang or forge his own path, especially after being diagnosed with tuberculosis, forcing him to reflect on his life and legacy.
In new ways.
as you live, ride, and fight to survive as an outlaw in a notorious gang.
As long as we get paid or you get shot, I'm happy.
Sleeping Dogs is an open-world action-adventure game developed by United Front Games and published by Square Enix. Originally planned as True Crime Hong Kong, the game was rebranded and released on August 14, 2012. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop who returns to Hong Kong after years in the US to infiltrate and dismantle the notorious Sun On Yee triad. Tasked with proving his loyalty to the gang while maintaining his cover, Wei must balance his duties as a cop with his rising status in the criminal underworld. As he earns the trust of triad leaders like Winston Chu and Uncle Po, he also faces brutal enemies like Big Smile Lee. Meanwhile, his police handler, Inspector Jane Teng, pressures him to remain focused on his mission.
You've crossed the line, Wei. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
L.A. Noire is a neo-noir, detective action-adventure game developed by Team Bondi and published by Rockstar Games. Originally released on May 17, 2011. You play as Cole Phelps, a decorated World War II veteran who joins the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, to make a difference. As he rises through the ranks, starting from patrol officer to detective assignments in traffic, homicide, vice, and arson divisions, Phelps investigates cases inspired by real-life crimes from 1940s Los Angeles. However, as he gets closer to uncovering corruption, drug conspiracies, and post-war criminal operations, he becomes entangled in political cover-ups and personal scandals that threaten his career and life.
Answer the question! This is your chance. Don't fail.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a futuristic open-world RPG developed by CD Projekt Red, the studio behind the Witcher series. Released on December 10, 2020, you play as V, a customizable mercenary navigating the dangerous streets of Night City, a megacity dominated by megacorporations, underground factions, and rogue AIs. After a heist gone wrong, V ends up with an experimental chip implanted in their brain, containing the digitized personality of Johnny Silverhand, a rebellious rock star and revolutionary played by Keanu Reeves. As V, you must uncover the secrets of the chip, battle enemies from every corner of the city, and ultimately decide your fate in a world driven by power, technology, and betrayal. The story offers multiple branching paths and endings, making every choice impactful.
It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
Yakuza. Like a Dragon is the 7th mainline entry in the Yakuza series, developed by Ryuga Gotoku Studio and published by Sega. Released in November 2020, the game takes the series in an exciting new direction, featuring a turn-based RPG combat system, a brand new protagonist, and a fresh setting. Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking member of the Arakawa family, a branch of the Tojo clan, is a loyal and idealistic Yakuza. In 2001, Ichiban takes the fall for a crime he didn't commit to protect his patriarch and spends 18 years in prison. Upon his release, he discovers that the world he knew has changed drastically. With the help of a group of eccentric allies, including a disgraced cop, a homeless man, and a bar hostess, Ichiban embarks on a quest to uncover the truth about his past, restore his honor, and rise to the top in Yokohama's criminal underworld.
I say, with the right friends, anything's possible.
Far Cry 6, developed by Ubisoft Toronto, is the 6th main entry in the Far Cry series, released on October 7, 2021. Yara is a nation frozen in time, under the iron rule of its ruthless dictator, Anton Castillo, portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito, Breaking Bad. Anton is grooming his teenage son Diego to inherit his oppressive regime, as he clings to the promise of restoring Yara to its former glory. But his paradise comes at a great cost, forcing the people of Yara into forced labor and poverty. You play as Danny Rojas, a guerrilla fighter seeking to liberate Yara from Anton's tyranny. Whether you choose to play as male or female Dani, your journey is one of rebellion, survival, and sacrifice. Teaming up with a ragtag group of revolutionaries called Libertad, you'll take the fight to Castillo's forces through sabotage, infiltration, and explosive warfare.
People kill whoever gets in our way.
By smuggling in supplies, you'll add some piss and fire to our movement.
You got that right.
Camp chef, black market dealers. These safe havens got everything a guerrilla needs.
Mad Max, developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, is an open-world action-adventure game set in the gritty and desolate post-apocalyptic universe inspired by the iconic Mad Max films. Released in September 2015, the story begins with Max Rokitansky, a lone wanderer, haunted by the memories of his family, being ambushed by the ruthless warlord Scabrous Scrotus, a son of Immortan Joe from the Mad Max universe. Scrotus and his gang steal Max's beloved car, the Interceptor, leaving him stranded in the unforgiving desert. Max's mission becomes one of revenge, survival, and redemption as he partners with Chum Bucket, an eccentric and loyal mechanic who believes Max is the saint, destined to build the ultimate car, the magnum opus.
Go yourself and lay bare your true promise.
While ammunition can be exceedingly scarce, there are plenty of other weapons at your disposal that can prove to be just as deadly.
Shenmue III, developed by YesNet and directed by the legendary Yu Suzuki, is the long-awaited sequel to Shenmue II, released on November 19, 2019. Picking up right after the events of Shenmue II, Ryo Hazuki and his companion, Shen Hualing, arrive in the rural village of Baiyu, China, in pursuit of the mysterious Lan Di, the man responsible for Ryo's father's death. The game follows Ryo as he unravels the secrets of the Dragon and Phoenix mirrors, ancient artifacts tied to his family's fate. As he delves deeper into Bailu and later travels to the bustling riverside town of Niaowu, Ryo encounters new allies, powerful enemies, and a criminal underworld that threatens to stop him. With each clue, he gets closer to confronting Lan Di, but the journey is far from over.
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way.
You've got some guts to barge in here on your own.
Max Payne 3, developed by Rockstar Studios and released in May 2012 for PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, is the gripping third installment in the critically acclaimed Max Payne series. Years after the tragic events of the first two games, Max Payne is a broken man. Racked by grief and drowning in alcohol and painkillers, he accepts a job in Sao Paulo as a private security contractor for the wealthy Rodrigo Branco and his family. When Rodrigo's wife, Fabiana Branco, is kidnapped by a brutal gang, Max is thrust into a dangerous web of corruption, betrayal, and violence. As Max battles street gangs, paramilitary forces, and his own inner demons, he uncovers a deeper conspiracy that implicates the elites of Sao Paulo. Along the way, he is forced to confront his tragic past and decide whether he can find redemption or be consumed by his guilt and rage.